Welcome back to the Wisely Automotive YouTube channel, and more importantly, welcome to our brand new Ford Transit van. Like any new vehicle, it needs kitting out, and we're not talking about some plastic stick-on tat, nor some fancy LED lights for the inside bought off AliExpress. We're talking about preparing it for a hard life on the road, servicing BMW and MINI electric vehicles. So stick around and let's find out exactly what that entails. If you saw our last video and generally have been keeping up to date with the Wisely Mobile service, you'll know that this old Ford Transit has had a really busy and hard life over the last year. It's done very well, but running costs have started to ramp up, and generally knowing that we've got months of bookings ahead of us, all relying on this old thing, is starting to cause me a little bit of anxiety, which was why we took the decision to go for a new van. We lucked out with a few things with this van, namely the tailgate. It's proved to be really useful for how we use the van. So when looking for a new van or a nearly new van, really the tailgate was a priority. That narrowed down the options quite a lot. Luckily though, after a bit of persistence, we did manage to find this one here. It was brand new from a Ford main dealer. I believe it might have been a cancellation because behind the 75 plate number plate, it's actually a year old, so it was standing round. So it might just be that the tailgate is not in big demand for other applications, but anyway, picked it up a few days ago. But obviously the monthly payments start immediately. In its current format, it's not going to serve any purpose, so with urgency we've brought it straight down to a company called WhiteBox, who specialise in racking out vans and converting them for loads of applications. We've actually been speaking to WhiteBox for a few weeks in the run-up to this, going through the design stage and starting to talk about what options we're going to use. We're using System Edström racking, which is the same stuff that we inherited in the old van. So it's meant that we've got a good base and foundation that we can build on, but there are also lots of size differences and things to consider between the old Transit and the new Transit. But anyway, it's here now. A lot of stuff's been ordered, so let's roll it in and let them get started.
What we're just doing now, we've just lifted out this plastic tub, which comes with the custom as standard. And what Martin's just doing inside here is the first piece of our ply flooring. This is a dry fit, so we're not permanently sticking this down. This is just where we test all the cuts from the ply, the shape, how it's going to work. This comes into 3 pieces. So there is a bulkhead piece, and these pieces, which, as you can see, cut out perfectly around the wheel arches, and even perfectly around this area where this is where you get your spare tyre out from. Very important. And this is where we get to see how it all fits together. This is obviously not finished because we are going to rubberise this beautiful one. So there'll be grip, it'll be waterproof, it'll be shockproof. And look at that, this is all going to go together perfectly. This is all going to get bonded straight to the metal, which is actually a lot better than putting screws straight through. What you see on a lot of builds, people just screw this down. What that does, it encourages water to come up. Eventually it will eat through your ply, which is no good for anyone. So we will bond this straight down. It'll be a nice solid stick, rubberised. That'll be stuck completely down. That gives us a really good base to work off, to fit our racking to, all of our rivets. It's going to be a good job. Nice and excited on this one.
Excuse the mess, but part of all of this is to make sure that the new van is just as functional, if not more functional, than the old one. As discussed, by chance, we got really lucky with the racking, and actually it ended up working really well with us. So the new one is not too dissimilar to what we had here. However, it is just being fine-tuned for all the exact sizes of things we carry. Part of that means that we've had to bring along a lot of typical parts so that the guys can make sure that everything fits just right. So trolley jacks, basically all these kind of things, like these little drawers here, we've essentially had to copy paste and buy again so that they can be fitted into the new van in just the right place.
With the old van on hand, the WhiteBox guys use the existing setup for reference, and with Arthur's input, they immediately get started with laying out the racking in the new one. All with millimetre precision to look neat but also fit as many items as possible. And now some words on why racking is actually useful.
So here with Mark, who is the owner of WhiteBox, and yeah, thank you very much for having us down and for fitting us in. What are you thinking?
I mean, it was quite nice when you came to me. You already had Edström racking in the van, which means there was no selling involved, and I never really try and sell it. You know, I think it's better to get a solution that fits and works for people, and if it doesn't work for them, I won't try and push them towards it. You know, it isn't for everyone. If you've got a builder that's trying to get tons of concrete in the back of the van, maybe van racking isn't for them. But certainly, I spent 15 years. Building up a fleet business. So I started out as a mobile mechanic. I know exactly the pain points that you go through, and I know it's critical to be able to get all of the bits in the right place, because at the end of the day, when you're working, it's all about flow.
Yes.
You know, you can save minutes every day, and people don't think that's a lot.
Efficiency, absolutely.
It's so efficiency, and you know, I know people that I've said the average they kind of talk about is you can save 20 minutes a day, and I've had people come back and said I've saved hours. You know, lost tools, lost parts, not knowing it's there.
Yeah. And the music's I mean, that van has, over the course of the year, like little things have been changed, where things live. Like you say, it's minutes at a time, but times that by hundreds of jobs a year, and all of a sudden that's an extra job you might be able to fit in.
But I mean, we discussed what was working for you and what wasn't working for you in
Yeah,
this one.
so I think one of the things, or an immediate decision we needed to make is what we've got suitable only because it is all I'm used to? Or should we kind of relook at things, and is there a need to reinvent the wheel?
Yeah.
And obviously you've seen more vans, you've been out there doing mobile service yourself before.
Yeah.
You could take one look at it and go, right, that is the correct setup, or maybe with a few a bit of fine tuning, it will be the right setup. Or should we do, I don't know, drawers at the bottom and all that stuff? So yeah, I found that really interesting when we sat down on the laptop, and I guess that's the benefit of using this System Edström stuff.
It is, yeah. You got the visualizations on the CAD design. It's very easy drag and drop, so we're not designing the bits from scratch. It's using a modular system. I don't think we're a million miles away from what you've already got. No. You know, it's just refinement. And of course, you know, over the years, there's some items that are no longer available or slightly different. So it's about, you know, for me, that product knowledge and making sure you understand exactly what's available.
Yeah, that was definitely there. Like, even like the vice and all the different dimensions. I think we've gone up from 1,000 to 1,200 on one side, and just all those little nuances that you just were able to immediately sort of suggest. So, yeah, no. How's progress coming along then?
Yeah, it's all right. We already pre-built that side, but we weren't sure about the right-hand side. So we've left that semi-built up. So the lads are just over there now putting it together. And what we need to do before you guys go today is to put it in there, make sure you're happy with the final fit, and then tomorrow this will all come out again. The floor's going to be rubberised, so it means that any oil spillages can be mopped up. Try and keep it as clean as possible, and then it'll be for us getting on there and fitting it in there.
Yeah, perfect. So turnaround time?
It takes longer to build it up than it does to actually fit it. So I mean, we can fit this stuff in a couple of hours. And that's why we try and pre-build them, you know, up front. Because
actually, I mean, I know I arrived a little bit later than Martin, but it looked like almost half the building up was already done.
And had we not had to do this measurement on that side, which was critical, we would have had that site built up too. So we would have already had this racking in there. My lads come in here, and when I say my lads, literally my boys, they're teenagers. They're the racking builders. You know, give them minimal wage and get them to do it, because that's the stuff that takes time. I mean, this is Swedish, so of course it's flat pack.
Yes. Oh, okay. It doesn't just arrive like this. Fair enough. And this side, you've just touched on that there was a bit of measuring, because as in usual style, I was being a little bit greedy on how much we can fit, and it looks like maybe we bit off a bit more than we can chew, but I think we've overcome it. We've done something.
Well, also you're going from the first gen custom to the second gen custom. So there's quite. I mean, as you can see, just looking out here, this floor is a lot higher. But the roof is a lot lower.
You know what? Yeah, I hadn't noticed that.
Actually, I mean, you can really see it. It's different. So they've somehow made it more squat. I don't know. Because they're slightly lower, these new Transit Customs, the other ones,
and a slightly higher floor. So you're kind of losing at both ends.
I mean, I'm guessing the reason they've done this is so that they can fit batteries under in the PHEV model.
That does make sense, yeah, absolutely. But no, I think it will definitely get everything that we've had in. A lot of things that were kind of a bit loose have now got a plan. I'm super chuffed. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Seeing the finished article.
Yeah, I always love it when a van's finished and filled. I mean, for me, it's about seeing it out in the field and working and saving people time.
Yeah, and fingers crossed, obviously the plan is to start copy and pasting this. Now that we've got this one done, sealed, delivered, will it be a case of just dropping the next one off and you guys will just get straight to work No
so
need
easy.
for any of this?
The critical work's done now. You know, you might find there's some tweaks when this is in the field,
Yeah,
you know, and we can make those tweaks, and that can just be done over the phone with the drawings.
Yes.
You know, we can check all the measurements, but it literally would be, I need another one. You know, the vans can be delivered here direct from dealer, can be fitted out.
True, yeah.
They can even be delivered direct to you or your staff, you know, wherever they're working from.
Sounds good. Cool, Mark. Well, let's see how we get on. Thank you very much.
Nice one.
And yeah, we'll catch up once we're a bit further down the road.
Nice one.
End of day one and loads of progress. My mind's a bit fried because we have really been trying to dial in every last millimetre here to make it all work seamlessly. Lots of clever things being come up for the trolley jack and the jacking beams, which are going to live at the back, which until now have just been kind of flying around. So yeah, a big thank you to Mark and his team for the patience that they've shown just going over all these last little bits and bobs. But yeah, very excited. Now we will pass it over to the team who will show you how things progress over the next few days.
The team clears out the van again to proceed with the permanent install, starting with getting the floor bonded to the vehicle and rubberized to keep it looking fresh. Then the racking itself can be secured into the agreed position. And lastly, the guys cleverly design a system for keeping the jack and jacking beams in place.
This sort of air rail system is here to keep this secure. This is very heavy, you don't want it loose flying around. He's also got some of these longer bars, so strapped, and it's not going to rock around anywhere on its wheels in transit.
With everything cleaned up and Arthur happy with the result, let's address why we got another Ford Transit in the first place.
So the whole idea of getting this new van and kitting it out is so that it's ready for a new starter to come on board and hit the road full time. On that note, the position is still open. We're still looking for a technician or two. If you're interested in finding out what it's all about, we did film a dedicated video. You can click above to watch that. While we're waiting for that person to come on board though, I will jump in and start putting the miles on this one and essentially babysit it. So that poses the question, what are we going to do with the old van? Well, we've just spent quite a bit of money on it. We've had Martin at MC4 Autos come out to change the 12-volt battery. The radiator's recently been replaced as it was leaking. It's going to need some tyres and brakes pretty soon, so that's all booked in. And to be fair, it is fighting fit. It's just quite old. It's now done over 150,000 miles. So should we sell it? Well, no, it's all kitted out. It's got the same System Edström stuff, or 80% as good as the new one. So it's still a very useful business asset. And what will happen is it will essentially slot in as a backup van, which was the whole plan here. If unexpectedly this van or future vans have some kind of unexpected mechanical issue or have to go off the road, this can step in and save the day. Also, I still intend to be out on the road from time to time, and by having this van kind of turnkey available, I can jump in it as and when I need to or want to continue being out on the road servicing cars. Long story short, the majority of the work is going to be carried out by this, driving up and down the country, servicing nationwide. As a result, that is the reason we have decided to stick with diesel. Now, it was a big consideration to consider moving over to the plug-in hybrid or even the fully electric version. However, with the distances that we're currently having to do with this van, you can see a calendar of all my days. Some days, you know, it's maybe as much as 300 miles. Fully electric or even the petrol plug-in are just not viable. However, we really do want to move to a fully electric fleet or maybe a mixture of vehicles. Now, that will only happen once we have more technicians maybe positioned regionally, and as a result, the overall distance being driven can come right down. In combination with overnight home charging, we can definitely make EV work. The beauty of this new style Transit is actually the cargo area remains exactly the same regardless which fuel source you go. So we can copy and paste what we've done here with WhiteBox into a full EV one. But for now, hopefully you can understand why we have stuck with diesel. So that's everything done now as far as WhiteBox are concerned, and a huge thank you to them for really going above and beyond with the installation. Super pleased with it, and the quality of the workmanship is tip top. Over the next few days, we will add all the final little bits and bobs, and at that point actually we can film a full kind of tour of the van. It's a good opportunity to show you exactly all the parts we carry, because there are quite a lot, so it gives you an idea of what we're capable of out in the field. And once we've lived with it for a few weeks, we can also do a comparison video of how the new Transit stacks up versus the old. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you're interested in seeing how we actually use these vans out in the field, please feel free to watch this video here, which shows you a day in the life of a mobile service technician. And to not miss any updates on this van, click here to subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.